Now today, as the market opened, NEO is currently trading down over 8%. This came after NEO gave us their Q2 earnings, which came out pretty bad, I must say, because they failed to beat what analysts expected when we look both at the revenues they generate and the earnings per share. And also when we check at the gross margins, ladies and gents, they came out worse than the kind of gross margins we saw in Q1 of 2023. So yes, it is trading down 8%, but one of the good things that obviously came out from the report, though it did not come, of course, as per what we predicted, is that NEO gave out a Q3 guidance of between 55 and 57,000. So for Q3, they believe that they will be, or they can be able to achieve deliveries of between 55 and 57,000. Which do I think that they will pull that through? Absolutely. In fact, I think they might beat their very own guidance, because in terms of deliveries, especially when we look at the NEV insurance registrations, we are seeing NEO, of course, getting some good numbers, which is what exactly we saw on the NEV insurance registrations we saw earlier this morning of 5,000 for the week, which started last week, Monday until Saturday. So yes, the Q2 earnings might be bad, but guidance, looking forward, I think there is something that is a bit positive that we can take going into, of course, Q3. And of course, you will know that on Friday we are still going to get the deliveries for the month of August, which hopefully we get to see NEO not only delivering over 20,000 but thrashing the deliveries they reported for the month of July, and that is the deliveries of over 20,400. Otherwise, before we dig deep into this video, you know that this video is just an entertainment video and not a professional financial advice video. Now, I really appreciate if you can just hit the like button if you are to enjoy the content that I'll be giving you about what we saw today on NEO's Q, of course, the two earnings, which they just announced, which, like I said, came out worse than what analysts expected. So hit the like button, because on this channel, NEO is one of the stocks that I discuss a lot, because I believe in their fundamentals and their future prospects. And regardless of the Q2 earnings we saw today, I still believe that there's hope onto NEO. Regardless of the 1% gross margins we saw, I believe that there is hope going into Q3 and Q4 of 2023. So yes, without wasting any more of your time, NEO reported also the total revenues of around 8.77 billion RMB, which was lower than the 9.16 which analysts expected. And same goes with, of course, the earnings per share. Analysts were expecting an earnings per share of a negative 2.96 RMB, which we saw NEO reporting an EPS, or an earning per share, of negative 3.28 RMB or Chinese yen, which is bad, right? And another thing which makes matters worse, I think it's the gross margins, which of course dropped further from the 1.5% which we saw from the Q1 earnings to now 1%. So NEO's gross margins for the quarter dropped to 1%. Though, of course, the vehicle margin improved for the quarter, but the gross margin dropped to 1%. I mean, the vehicle margin for, of course, Q1 was 5.1%, and the vehicle margin for this quarter, for quarter two, came at 6.2%. So that was better, but nonetheless, that of course, the overall gross margin came down to 1%, which was something that was not good. Now, another thing that I picked up which was not that good, it was the cash and cash equivalent, because on this quarter of quarter two, they reported a cash and cash equivalent of $4.3 billion, of which it is a decline, because in Q1 we saw this figure at over $5 billion. Now, the good thing is that, as I've said, regardless of these bad earnings, the good thing is that for the guidance, ladies and gents, NEO is expecting 55 and 57,000 vehicles for Q3, which, looking at the fact that they might continue delivering over 20,000 vehicles for the rest of the quarter, it might mean that, of course, they crush that, or they deliver more than what they are currently, of course, seeing as per their guidance, which would be so great if NEO can do that. So the 55 to 57,000 is not that bad, looking at the fact that the current record that NEO has quarterly it's just over 40,000 vehicles. Now these, of course, 55 to 57,000 deliveries which they are predicting that they will get in for Q3, they represent roughly around just 2.6 to 2.69 billion dollars, which of course it will be a good of course thing, because NEO has never generated that kind of revenues in a quarter. It will be a very good thing, which I personally believe that, yeah, things for Q3 might look way much better, because, ladies and gents, NEO would have delivered way more deliveries than the kind of deliveries they have delivered ever since their existence, when we look into a quarter, which is something that will be so amazing. So I know that these earnings are really bad, which is why the stock opened trading down over 8%. But I'm hopeful, because right now we are seeing NEO delivering good delivery numbers. And another thing with Q2, you know that NEO was in a process of transitioning from NT 1.0 into NT 2.0 cars, which I'm hoping that right now we are going to see, of course, the gross margins doing pretty good, because you will know that NEO now sell big cars like the NEO ES8, which is not doing that bad, or which is doing quite good when you look into the deliveries, which is expected to also boost the gross margins, or the NEO gross margins for Q2. So I'm hoping to see a good recovery going into Q3, or on the Q3 earnings, which I believe will be reported, or NEO will of course report them sometime in November. But the good thing that's coming on Friday is the August deliveries, which I would like to believe, or I'd like to see NEO delivering, or not only over 20,000 vehicles, but delivering more than what they delivered in August. That is, of course, the 20,400, as I said. Yeah, but otherwise earnings were not good. I think one just has to be honest, earnings were not good, but we look forward, we are hopeful, especially looking at the kind of deliveries and the guidance that NEO gave on the report. Otherwise, with all that, guys, I just thought I'd just give you this quick update. And if you think that this video was amazing, please don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. And once you subscribe, don't forget to hit or click the notification bell, so that at least you get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. Otherwise, it is always good that before you load the boat by NEO, you do your own due diligence, so that at least you can be comfortable as you are investing onto this stock. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey, and God bless you all.